Welcome to today's show, Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Burgess, passionate, inspirational speaker, author, poet, and entrepreneur. Good morning, and welcome to Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. I'm so glad that you joined me today. I want to give a big thank you to those of you who are listening in today. And here's a great big shout out to all of you listening around the world. I'm delighted and so grateful that you tuned in. I sure hope you're enjoying a fabulous day today and that you're having a fantastic week. Because you know what? In the grand song of the universe, life is very, very short. It's short, sweet, and all so precious. So, I hope you're making a difference in your own life, because when you do, you also make a difference in someone else's life. Now, a lot of folks want to make their life count for something, and they ask me, Dr. Gloria, how do you do that? Well, it's really very simple, very simple. You make your life count day by day, step by step, moment by moment, every single day, 365, 24/7. That's what Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count is all about. You can learn more about Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count by visiting the Gloria Burgess website. That's the Gloria Burgess website, GloriaBurgess.com. That's the Gloria Burgess website, GloriaB as in boy, URGESS.com, or by visiting my Facebook page, and that's Facebook.com/DR for Doctor, DR, GloriaBurgess, PhD /. Today, I want to talk with you about leadership. Now, you know that this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart, but today is very special because I'm going to focus specifically on a special kind of leadership, and it's called personal leadership. That's right, personal leadership. So, what is personal leadership? Well, I'm glad you asked. Personal leadership is simply this. It's all about how you live your life. And to help us understand one way to live your life, I have a very special guest with me on today's podcast. My guest today is Lynne Brown. Lynne will share a little bit about her story and her perspective on personal leadership, and in particular, how she moved from fear to freedom. From fear to freedom. I love that. I know that Lynne is going to speak life and wisdom into someone today. I can't wait for you to meet her. But first, let me tell you a little bit about her. Lynne is a person of influence, and she is positively inspiring. Now, one of the things I love about Lynne is that she enjoys encouraging people of all ages to step into their greatness, to step into the life that God has planned just for them, and to live a life of confidence and personal growth. One of the many ways that she has added value to people over the years is as a senior director of sales and marketing in the business sector. She's also served in education for over 14 years. In the education sector, Lynne served as a counselor and in diverse leadership roles. How cool is that? Now, Lynne is a leader who makes a difference in her own life and in the lives of so many others throughout the world through her work and, more importantly, because of her heart for service. She just is one of those people who has a deep conviction and a heart for serving other people. I first met Lynne through the John Maxwell team. I know her as a spirit-filled woman whose life is all about lifting up, helping and serving others in her community, in our schools, in the business world, and beyond. So to simply say that Lynne is interested in her work would be a huge understatement. Lynne is positively passionate about her work, and I must say she is a woman with a mission. She is on purpose and on fire to change the world. To change the world one person at a time, one child at a time, one teenager at a time, one adult at a time. When you hear her story, you will understand why Lynne is so passionate about making a difference, about changing the world in this way. I was very struck by Lynne and her passion, but you know what? I was also struck by her compassion. But these are just a couple of her many wonderful qualities that drew me into her, and that draw so many people to Lynne. We are very blessed to have her as one of our honored mentors on this show. She's an incredible leader, and she has a particular focus on serving others. In many ways, in her outlook on life and in her work, Lynne pulls together the many threads of what my own life and work are all about. I mean, you've heard me talk about this many, many times, about the themes and threads of service on this show. And some of the themes are gratitude, authenticity, generosity, courage, integrity, passion, presence, trustworthiness, hope, and possibility. Now, I just love all of these themes, and I love Lynne. So today, we have both of us, Lynne and me, with very different backgrounds and very different experiences, yet so many common threads. Can I just tell you something? Lynne and I had a wonderful, wonderful conversation, and I'm so excited to have this amazing person, this amazing leader with us today. This is going to be a fantastic show. You don't want to miss a single minute of it. So, grab your earbuds or put on your walking shoes, relax in your favorite chair, grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee or a nice cool glass of water. We're going to have a great time. But before I jump into today's show, I want to take just a few moments to welcome you. If you're just joining us, I'm your host, Dr. Gloria, and this is Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. I'd like to extend a very special welcome to those of you who are joining my show for the very first time. You're in for a real treat. I'm excited to have you listening in today, and I'm deeply honored that you've allowed me to be part of your day, so you can be inspired by the ideas and resources to make your life count. Today's program is all about leadership. Specifically, it is about personal leadership. All right, so today we are with the fabulous Lynne Brown. Lynne is a friend, and I can't wait to have you listen to what she has to offer today. Lynne, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Gloria. It is such an honor and privilege to be here. I'm super excited about it.
Well, thank you, and it's just an honor to have you here on the Legacy Living Show and to have you as my guest. Lynne, I know that I invited you to be a guest for a number of reasons, one of which I just have a high regard and respect for you, and also for the work that you're doing in the world. And I wonder if you can just maybe start out by telling our listeners just a little bit about yourself, about your background, and anything else you'd like to fill in for us, and then I'm going to ask you a few questions, okay?
Okay, well, thank you. You know, my life, the older I get, the simpler it gets. And I just basically operate off of two principles. I love Jesus and I love people. And it was so interesting when I began to really grow personally about 5 years ago. I realized that these little models were set up all throughout my life. I remember, you know, as a young child, collecting money around our house, spare change, and there was this radio station, an AM station, and they were having a money drive for crippled children. And I heard it, and I ran around my house collecting change. And I remember exactly where I was, and my hands were sweaty holding all the money. And I remember going and dialing that phone and telling them I think it was 79 cents. And I remember I was so excited and just so, wanting so bad to have more money to give them. And there were just times throughout my life that I look back that I was doing these things. But there was a time in my life, there was a lot of darkness in my life, and I lost belief in myself. But the cool thing is that even out of all that, I'm sure we'll get into some of that as we go through this, but even during that darkness, that light was still in my heart. It was still who I was. And so now I am just living totally unafraid, fearless, and free. And it is so much fun to be able to just every day get up and just go serve. Now, let me just say this. I'm like an epic failure on feet. I have so many learns that still happen every day, and every day I have a chance to, begin again. But it's just so exciting to be alive right now and to be able to take part in this world, just being a transformational leader and person, and it's just great. I love it. So I hope that answered your question.
Yes, it does, Lynne. Thank you so much. And, I love how you talk about your faith and epic failure kind of in the same breath. And so I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about your, you also talked about, darkness in your life and fear. And I'm curious about, so how did you transition? How did you change and move from fear to freedom to the place that you are now?
Well, it's so interesting because I was not ever really aware of what it was until I began to look, within. And that's not a selfish thing. It's not like I was trying to be selfish and just focus on myself, but I had to dig down into some of those messages that I recognized and that were just playing over and over my mind, and I couldn't quite figure it out. I just kept hitting this. It's just like there was a ceiling above my head. I was raised in the church. We sat on the second row. We were there twice a week, and we did good things for people. And, I had a mama and a dad, and we didn't have tons and tons of money, but we had everything we needed. We had Santa came and all that stuff, but there was just something missing. And I sat in church, and even as an adult, had kids, married, the whole 9 yards, and I still sat there going, there's got to be something I'm missing here. And I finally began to just reach out to people that were, for lack of a better word, just sharper or more insightful than I was. And when I joined, I am a member of this John Maxwell team, and when I began to be around people that made me think, it just opened up my eyes. And just like a call like right now, just talking with you, the questions that you're asking are just helping me to think into it even more. And when I get off this call, I'll have even more insight. And so the first thing I want to say is right now, I know there are people on this call from all over the world. And if I was somewhere else in the world listening in and I had not had an opportunity to speak with someone that could help me, I might be thinking, well, there's no hope for me. But I just want everyone to know just right now before I even go on that there is something in place in your life right now already. You will find that way. When you begin to ask and search and pray and seek it, you will find it. And I hope that